What's up guys, Skino here, and today we're just going to be doing a quick video looking through all the new vehicles in the new upcoming update 1.85. Before this video starts, this is the dev server, so any values or information on the dev server currently can be changed, and most probably some vehicles will be changed. So, we'll start with the Americans. We'll start with the M3 Bradley. This thing is honestly quite interesting. I was really expecting this thing, to be honest, because I had seen, the BMP2 and the, what's it call it, I'm being autistic, the Warrior, that's what it is, the Warrior for the British. So, again, this thing is very nice. It has two tow missiles, which we already have in game. And very good missiles, but it isn't the only thing. We have decent, okay amount of armor, which can stop some light machine guns, but essentially that is about it. We could see some upgrades to this thing, maybe. I don't know. Probably in maybe some of the form of, different armor packages, maybe. Because I think this thing did get ERA. I'm not sure. But we also see in the internals very nicely. And you got 5 crew in here. You got 10 toes. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I don't know where the other 4 are. I think it is actually on the other side here. Plenty of ammo for the main gun. It shoots at 201 shots per minute. And ammunition, you start off with APDS, which can do 110mm a pen. Apparently the penetration is bugged at the moment. It's only showing the first round in the belt. And you started off with default. You do get a laser rangefinder, which is pretty nice. Smokes. Okay, I apologize, I had to sneeze a bit. But yes, you do get smoke, the laser rangefinder, and very nice 630mm pen with that rocket. It's going to make it comparable to other infantry fighting vehicles or APCs and stuff like that as BR. Also, it's now being moved to ATO, which is more respectable of a BR, which is going to make it more competitive. Nothing new for helicopters, but for aviation we see the F100D has now been moved down to 9.7. But again, it's an F100D, very nice loadout, lots of ordnance, so this thing's going to be an absolute beast for ground pounding. With not only do you get the the sidewinders for air-to-air action, which aren't really that good, but hey, it's nice to have them. But you also do get plenty of bombs and bullpups too. So for instance, here you get 4 750-pound bombs and 2 bullpups, but there's a lot of bombs and a lot of loadouts that go onto this plane, which is going to make it an absolute beast. And God, this thing is beautiful. Also, super suck. You also get the premium. Basically F86 F35. We'll just preview this quickly. Again, it's an F86, but yeah, you don't really get much new on it, but it's a premium F86. I think this thing's going to be spammed by a lot of new players. So when you do see this thing, if you're kind of newer to jets, and I say this thing's going to be played by noobs, this thing might be a bad jet with massive quotations, but in the right hands it's going to be very nice. But if it's a new player that's playing this thing, it's probably going to be quite shitty. But it's going to be a great jet. It's a saber. I've been enjoying the A5, so I could possibly pick this up if I had some cash around. Anyway, for Germany, nothing new. Actually, one thing we almost forgot is fleet. There is a new a light cruiser. This is the Rallying. Oh, I don't know how to say that, but hey, it's a nice looking cruiser. Tell you what, this Christmas decoration lights look very nice in this thing. Again, it looks like it's I think it's the Omaha class, yes. So it's just 2 Omaha classes. Essentially, they're basically the same. this one is a little more upgraded. It seems, yeah, more secondary 3-inch guns and 8 to 20 millimeters, and you still get the 1.1-inch guns. Go over to Germany. Germany, the only new thing they seem to get is under Fleet, which is the KMS Colon. I think that's how you say it. This thing's gonna be an absolute beast for, you know, ship-to-ship combat. Three triple gun turrets, one on the front, two on the back. So you probably want to keep your back more exposed, but that isn't it. You also get 3 twin 88mm anti-aircraft cannons, which for secondaries against PT boats, that thing's gonna be absolutely amazing. Even light destroyers, this area here is gonna be an absolute beast. And, you know, the 37s and the 20 mils are also very nice to have. And you do also have torpedoes. It's a standard German cruiser design of just having very powerful ordnance on a relatively small and fast ship. And it does go fairly fast. Nothing else new for ship. We'll go quickly over to... Wait. I thought there was a new destroyer for a minute. The Soviets. We might as well start off, but their own ship. So, yeah, it just seems like a pretty nice ship. It's the Cranes. I don't even know how to say it, but I find something. Looks like a 15 130mm guns, 3 twin mount 100mm. Again, it's gonna be a very, very good ship. I say, lots of guns, but it's probably going to have a disadvantage with its relatively low speed. Also, decent amount of armor, seems. But Russia also is the second country to get a supersonic aircraft. It's going to move my mic a little bit. This is a MiG-19 PT. It's the only 10.0 plane in the game, it seems, because all the other ones have been changed. I think this one, just because it's got a pretty ridiculous turn time and a ridiculous acceleration, though it isn't as fast as what the F100 can go. This thing does have a lot better acceleration, and you know, two very powerful engines, 30mm cannons. Hey, what more could you want? And you also do have, actually, if we just go modifications, this one's just a purely air-to-air aircraft. It does not have any ground pounding loadout, it seems. Yeah, doesn't tell me what the penetration for the AP is because of that little bug. But this is the MiG-15 BIS ISH. So this is a MiG-15 standard, but it has these massive pylons on it. And you can take a lot of ordnance on this thing. To be honest, I don't see this thing being the best plane to buy for, you know, the Russians, but the best plane, because it will be getting some disadvantages with the added weight of these pylons. But hey, if you want a good ground pounder and you want a good fast ground pounder that can also double as a air-to-air interceptor, just, you know, to do standard stuff like that, hey, this thing will be a pretty nice plane. It doesn't seem. Now we go on to the army. Nothing new under helicopters, but under army it is going to be fairly interesting. We still do not see the Su-85A, which is kind of interesting. I think that might be an event vehicle, but anyway. Oh wait, do we check under America for the T-32? Or the T-30 heavy tank? It does not seem. It might be a event vehicle, so you know, those are two vehicles that haven't been shown. But the T-72A was a very nice tank. Well, I'll do a test drive with it because I can test drive this vehicle. And honestly, I very like the T-72s. T-72s is one of my favorite tanks. I think it is a very underestimated tank in real life. Very nice, decent turret traverse. Got that Abrams up there. Hey, what more could you expect? But by now the Abrams would have already killed me, but anyway. Yeah, very nice. Mobility. You got the Dishka, the 7.62mm coax, and look at this shell ejection. And they finally made the shells a little smaller because they have very small charges on Russian shells. Look at that, just whoop. No, very nice gun on this thing. It's a standard Russian 125. It starts off again stock APFSDS like normal Russian top tier vehicles. Yeah, that's a nice little art around here. But if we go under here, we do see, I think its best round is like the stock round on the T64B. So it does not get the best rounds to what, you know, this gets. This gets this basically the same round stock. But hey, it's going to be a nice 9.3 if you guys want a 9.3, and it's going to be leading away for the brilliant T72 series. The next thing is under the British. We'll go with the Army first, and our first tank is our only tank is the Challenger Mark III. So this is an improved Challenger, you know, standard, very thick turret armor, though does lack in the really the hull department. The only real changes is it gets these composite, or these ERA side bricks, and these composite bricks down the side. So again, this is going to be improving. I love my dogs. But yes, gets much more better side protection against helicopters, though I think helicopters are mainly hitting the top of the vehicle, so, you know, there's not really going to be too much difference, and also it's on the hull. But this thing does get, finally, for the British fans, APFSDS stock. I wonder if they're going to give the Challenger Mark II APFSDS stock too. It does not seem like they're going to do that. Sorry, Brits, but again, you're gonna have. You guys are gonna have a struggle bus with this thing. This thing's gonna be a little better. Shot Card Elect is next. This thing's something that I really love. Should I even show it? It's on my desktop. But we'll go back to War Thunder now. But yes, this thing is basically a Centurion. I just want to bring up my other windows quickly. A Centurion that the Israelis got. They put lots and lots of Dakar on it. It seems that it's a 2 Browning 50 cals. Apparently this has still got a 30 cal one on them. So these are both coax to the gun, and then you got this two on like post mounts on the top, one on the cupola and one on the loader's hatch. Lots of the Blazer ERA bricks, and if I just turn off this so we can see more. Again, lots of ammo and APFSDS. Yes, and it's stock too. So this thing is going to be a nice thing to grind out some silver lions, because the APFSDS is stock and thus it is free. You also do have a lot of smoke, 10 smoke grenades, plus I think some extras, and you do have an improved power plant, which is from the M60. Though this is arcade, so I'm just going to go into, if I just quickly actually change this to make sure it's going to tank realistic. Again, it is very decently powerful engine, very nice gun. We'll test drive this quickly to see what it's like. And, you know, what more could you want for the British? So it should have a little bit better mobility overall. It may not seem like it, but you still have the stabilizer. Very nice round, it seems. Apparently those smoke grenades on the side of the gun or the sides aren't working. But yes, you do have this kind of single launcher. Lots of Dakar. one was firing that 7.62 on the side. It's firing a little short, but any, like, you know, for instance, if I just quickly show the one tank that is going to be very susceptible to this Daka. Absolutely annihilates it. You don't have to use your main gun. So use my main gun to try to finish him off apparently, but apparently it doesn't. Jeez, there's so many bullets going down range at once. Hey, nice, making a... There we go, we killed him finally. And again, very powerful gun, especially for 8.7. Though I don't see this thing being the best in the meta at top tier. Though, if you guys make this thing keep back, snipe, it's going to be very nice. And especially, again, it's going to be a nice printer for money. So if we go back, and again, you still have the premium bonuses. Apparently, though, it's rank 6. So I think that might be a bug, but I don't really mind rank 6 premiums, to be honest. Aviation, we have the Meteor F Mark 8 Reaper. Again, 2 decently powerful engines. It's just a Meteor. It just seems, I really don't know a lot about Meteors, so, you know, nice ordnance. It's going to be an okay premium to buy. But hey, it looks absolutely fucking beautiful with this camo though. But the main thing is the Javelin. It's now 9.0 because it is the slowest and doesn't turn the best. Though it does have a nice roll rate. You do still have, I have the Fire Streak missiles, which are decently good. They have a nice filler with them, and you do have 30mm Aidens, and you know, it can go supersonic, but not really because it is a relatively slow aircraft. Hey, for you British aircraft fans, hey, you guys got the Javelin. Go quickly over to fleet. No other new ships except this thing, the HMS Dido. Lots of guns. You got 3 5.25 inch turrets at the front and then 2 at the back. So this thing you can just point at the front. This is probably the best thing to counter that new German light cruiser. Lots of guns. Decent, okay amount of armor around the Citadel decks. Very nice, pretty nice armored turrets too, and nice deck armor. Though no turret around, armor around this area, so your bridge is going to be very easily destroyed. But hey, your ammo is very low under the water, which is very nice, and decently fast, and yeah, it's going to be a nice little ship. Apparently this is new too. It's just a little low tier PT boat and decent amount of guns. Hey, the next thing is to go on is to Japan. Japan has no new aviation, also no new ships yet, but hey, Japan, apparently a lot of the guns and some models are in the game. But the Type 89, doesn't this thing look absolutely amazing? This thing is something that I've been kind of waiting for, but you got Type 79 ATGMs, which is 700mm a pen. You got an APHE round and a APDS round, which does 112mm of penetration through a 35mm gun, which fires at 200 rounds a minute. So this thing is basically Bradley, but you know, slightly better. Also has a more powerful engine and better armor protection. Is it? Let's go back to arcade. We'll just quickly go down to previous thing. And X-Ray has a very powerful engine, 500 horsepower, and it is quite heavy for an APC, but again, it does not have aluminium armor. It has roll homogeneous, but it's still going to get hull broke, means, you know, with the stupid hull broke mechanic, it's just going to die immediately. Go over to France before we do Italy. So do Italy at the end. AMX 10 RC. This thing's another very cool tank that I've been waiting for. It's a wheeled tank destroyer. So it's basically the Model F2 105mm cannon and two AAN F1 machine guns. The round is slightly inferior to what's on the AMX 30s at the same BR, which is at 8.3. So it's going to be decent, is the best way to put it, but you got bulletproof glass. It's going to stop everything. But, you know, it's going to be very quick. At the top speed of 92 kilometers an hour, 15 tons, and is powered by almost a 400 horsepower engine, which I don't know how many horsepower it does when it's fully upgraded. Do a quick test drive with it. Though I won't be able to play with the APFSDS yet. Right. You know, decent 105mm. Very slow acceleration for a wheeled APC. Oh yes, I remember this thing. It's got a kind of weird version of the clutch brake steering like in a tank. So this thing is going to be very inferior to other APCs at the same BR. And you don't have a stabilizer either, which kind of sucks. But okay amount of Daka. And you can fire on the move. Though again, you do not have like the a steering wheel kind of. It's gonna do this like clutch brake steering, which makes this thing rock quite a bit. Means firing on the move is gonna be decently hard to do. So well, yeah, I think it's gonna be okay because it can get up to an okay amount of speed, but it has no armor, and I would like to see how this thing goes in the meta. Yeah, I think it's not going to be a super meta machine, but it's going to be nice for reconnaissance and nice for blowing the odd target up. Yeah, no stabilizer, so hey. We'll go. It seems France doesn't get any new aviation. It doesn't seem. So it's time for Italy. We'll start with Italian aviation. Reggiane 2001 Serie 1. So this is another Reggiane aircraft, which apparently is a very good designer for aircraft. I personally do not know a lot too much about the Italian aircraft program, but apparently the community's really been wanting this. I've kind of wanted it because I like planes to play on occasion. But hey, very standard, like kind of lower BR Italian weapons. 12.7s, which are very powerful, and 7.7s, decently good. I'd say it's going to be good. Oh, also, Ju-87 R2, standard R2, though it gets this nice Italian camouflage. And, you know, it seems just to be a standard R2. I think you also get the Italian bomb loads on the thing, which seem to be a little inferior to the German ones. So, but hey, for you, you know, when you guys are playing the Italians and you're trying to dive bomb people, especially at lower BR, this thing's going to be nice to have. And you also get the D3, the monstrous D3, which is a much more better. Isn't the D5, but hey, it's a D3, which is a nice Ju-87. Plenty of armor on it. You got the twin rear machine guns, which are very powerful, and still not as good as the Germans' bomb loads. You get a lot of 100-pounders though, which are going to be nice for drawn out combat. The SM's 91. Other YouTubers have shown this off, and they by far do better videos than me. A lot of 20mm, and a 20mm rear gun, which is very nice. And 2 engines. This thing is probably one of the better planes. I better get this thing pretty quick before the update drops. Reggiane 2001 CB. So this is just looks like it's a different version of it. I don't really see too much of the differences in terms of stats, but apparently it's slower, but it should also have some other stuff better. And then you get the CN, which basically puts German 20mm cannons in the wing. Hey, what could you complain about? Okay, you can complain about the bad ammo amounts, only 60 rounds. But hey, can't complain. German 20s are very powerful. Now for basically the better and what the update should have been named after, the Italian tanks. So they changed what... Okay, so I'm back. So they changed what was going to be reserve. We got instead of the AB-41 as the reserve Italian light tank. But we might as well start off. We'll go preview it. Again, very small little armored car. Next to no armor. And not the best in terms of penetration until you get the best rounds, which is the Panzergranate 40s. Very quick though, and that's what its advantage is going to be. You get 2 of these tanks, the M1340s. You get 2 of them, which this one just seem to basically be identical, just different camouflages. But hey, I'm just going to look at one of them. Poor penetration with the stock round. Again, still poor apparently. Though this round here has a better long range performance, though this one has a better close range performance. Lots of high explosive filler though, 30 grams and 30 grams of explosive mass. Which, hey, what more could you want? It's going to be an absolute nuke of a round. And that's what a lot of the Italian tanks are going to be. Nuke round tanks. We're going to look at the AS-42. So it's just a little armored car. Very thin armor. This thing's going to be ripped to shreds by little 7.62s. But hey, it's got a 20mm on top. No longer 5 guys though. This thing used to have 5 guys in it. Come on, Gaijin. Why can't we have 5 guys? Oh, these guys look like they're Japanese. Like samurai. I don't know, maybe that's just the type of uniform they used. Let's look at the M1441. So this is an improved version of the M1340. Same gun though. Same armor. Really all around. I think it's just better mobility. Yeah, 37 k's an hour over 32. So improved mobility. That's essentially it. Hey. Well, it's actually apparently I need to change this so it's actually showing realistic diagrams. So a little bit of improved mobility. Go look at the L6 40. So this is a little light tank. Apparently still has 500mm of rolled homogeneous armor here. Very thick tank. But again, it has the same 20mm as the vehicle below, the AB-41. That's its name. But again, very thin armor. It's going to have hull break, most probably. 2 men in this thing. Absolutely cramped. Very small engine. And though very good mobility, which is going to be nice. And this thing, which can absolutely become a low tier meme machine of just how small this thing is. Because I'm just going to have a look quickly. And also, it has the same penetration as all the other 20mm. I think it should have more, personally, because apparently this thing is your stock tank. I could, yes, do that, but, it's so low. Look how small this thing is. And I think my car has, like, double the horsepower, or double the power of this thing's engine. So... yeah, my car has like almost triple the power of this thing's engine. I have a Toyota Corolla, if anyone's interested. But, holy shit, this thing's engine's fucking minuscule. Bloody old, Luigi the driver sits on the fucking fuel tank. God, I must be hell to serve one of those. Look at the M1139. First tank destroyer with massive air quotations. What was this? Someone's put it in the Discord. Go and put that up and read it on the side. But again, two Beretta 8mm and a Vickers cannon on the M11 chassis. Looks very nice, to be honest. I like the look of this thing. Just quickly look at this. Armor thickness, armor penetrations, or some new projectiles are not final. Yeah, so just take everything as it's not final, because apparently a lot of the stuff that we're going to be seeing in game in terms of penetration is not final, and with ammunition on new tanks. So again, I think a lot of these guns get a high penetration than 27mm. I don't think this is worse than the fucking French. Because look how much bigger these rounds are. But again, this thing looks really nice. I think it's going to be an okay tank destroyer if it gets better penetration. And we're going to look at the AB-43. This thing is a 2.0. It is essentially the Italian Puma, and 50mm of penetration is going to make it difficult to play, especially if you can fight a literal a M4. But anyway, look at this thing, the 19mm 53 M41M. Very big, powerful gun on this thing. Next to no ammo, 8 rounds. It is essentially the SU6, I think it's called. Right, we're gonna have a look quickly. The SU51, but essentially Italy edition with a 19mm gun. Next to no armor, or 30mm of armor. Very nice looking tank. I know this thing from other games, and it is pretty nice. Decent enough penetration for its ammunition, so this thing's gonna be decently powerful. I don't know why the model looks like that, but anyway. But hey, I can't complain. This thing's gonna be a nice thing to have. Nice sniper. Look at the M1542. This is the M15's much more later version of a 1942 Italian tank design. Again, same ammunition on the 47mm. Very little penetration at 2.0, but again, better armor protection, 50mm. Apparently the hull guns still can't fire. I want the hull guns. Come on, Gaijin. These twin hull guns are just something that I define the Italian M series mediums, or Italian mediums, these twin hull guns in the earlier mediums. So we also get this little thing, the R3 T20 FAS. Very nice little kind of armored car. Very derpy. Very small, but a big 20mm cannon, which is going to be a nice AA. Hey, how can you complain about that thing? And then the tank destroyers for Italy. The first one here is a very low velocity 75mm. Apparently does not have ammo. 43 rounds of ammo. Okay penetration with the stock round. And its best round, which is the heat run. Thank you. My dog stopped barking. Again, heat round 100mm. Essentially, this thing is going to be like the first Stug, the Stug C. The Stug B, I think it's in the game. Very nice armor thickness, multi-layer armor here, but hey, it looks pretty nice. Does not have a hole in the armor here though. I want a hole in the armor so I can just shoot it with a 30 cal and kill it. Next tank is the slightly improved version of the 75mm 32 M41, or this is now the 32 M41. Same armor. Also, the mobility on all of these is relatively mediocre, but apparently does the same penetration. Again, I think this is one of the guns that are going to be improved later on, so I don't think these rounds are going to be that poor in penetration. And we now see the 75mm slash 34 M42, which is a further improvement. Now an M42 chassis, 50mm of armor still, much more bigger gun. Again, I think this is, oh actually no, 75mm of penetration. Very large high explosive filler, 270 grams, and then you also got the heat. Hey, how can you complain? 3 guys on all these tanks though. Only 3 guys. And you got the P40, which basically essentially is the P40. Nice armor protection. Looks like a pizza. Okay gun. With the upgraded shells. Again, I've already got the premium, so I'm going to be grinding the hell out of this thing. Or out of the Italian tree early with that thing. The Beretta 501, which is an improved Beretta tank design. Or is an... Oh my god, what am I on? It's just a kind of armored car that the Italians get. Same gun as what was on the previous tank destroyer, the 90mm 51, I think it is, or 53 M41M. Then we also get a M4 Tipo IC or 1C. Very nice looking early Sherman chassis with the 17-pounder in the turret. Hey, it's going to be fun to play. And apparently this needs to stop going to tank. Why can't I get like realistic battles for once? My god. The M42, which is an anti-air gun, looks very nice. My god, what am I on? 4 20mm cannons in here. Gets Panzergranate, so this thing is essentially an Italian Wirbelwind, though very big holes in the armor. And it's on the gunner side too, so this thing can be killed very easily by a machine gun. But hey, 38 kilometers of top speed, so it isn't really that bad. Now the 105mm 25 M43. Very low tank destroyer. Like, I mean, extremely low. But 105mm gun, which, holy shit, 275 grams of high explosive filler, and a 120mm heat round. Hey, that's pretty good. Also, the armor protection is now 75mm thick. 90mm over that port there. But hey, 38 kilometers now, top speed, and it's decently heavy. Now the 75mm slash 34 M43. So again, this is why I don't think this, this thing's gonna be quite a poor tank destroyer, especially for 4.0. But it isn't that. It gets 75mm and then it gets an extra 25mm on top of that. Though it's going to be poor. I don't think this is going to be a really, truly great tank destroyer. Because it does not have the armor protection to stop a lot of incoming shells. Though 100mm may sound good, on paper, it's still a relatively poor tank. Then you get this thing, which is kind of the in-game of the M43 based tank destroyers. 7.62, or I mean 8mm Beretta machine gun, and a very powerful gun. I mean, this thing is basically the Italian Jagdpanzer, so hey, what more could you want? And this will take us on to rank 4, which we start off with the M36B1. Does this get the heat yet? No, it does not. This should get the heat. It is the same M3A1 cannon, which is on all other tanks, but hey, it's an M36 on it's an M36 turret onto an M4 chassis. What more could you want? It's going to have some nice mobility, 41 kilometers an hour top speed. It's American. It's going to be spreading some freedom. And we also see the M26A1, which is basically, again, with the M46 gun. Still not received heat. It is exactly the same gun. Should get heat. Well, exactly the same gun. Please comment if I'm wrong. I'm fairly sure. But you do not have the mobility of the M47. Standard M26 stuff. Then you got the Fiat 6614, which is like a little armored car with a recoilless 106mm rifle on it. Nice ammunition, very good penetration, nice hair shell. This thing's going to be fast, top speed of 100 kilometers an hour. Then we got the R3 T106 FA, which has got twin recoilless rifles, and also it's got the 12.7s. Remember that, the ranging guns. And same ammunition, and 115 kilometers an hour of top speed. This thing's gonna be a fun little tank destroyer to play, honestly. And yeah, armored glass. That's kind of a new thing. I don't know what the armor multiplier on that thing. Not too much armor though. 33mm of alloy armor. Something tells me it should float. And we'll go on to the AUBL 74. This thing is a prototype kind of wheeled tank destroyer or reconnaissance vehicle. It's got an MG4259 on the coax, so it's basically an MG42 and a 90mm gun. It is not stabilized, but you got 3 crew in it and plenty of ammo and a big engine. No armor though. But hey, this thing's gonna be fast, 100 km an hour top speed, and this thing has a arse ton of recoil on it. So yeah. Now the Centauro. Oh, this thing is absolutely beautiful. Very big gun. Not a lot of armor. Very sloped armor to say though. And you go 2 Beretta MG42 41s. 2-plane stabilizer. At 7.7. This thing is going to be a beast. And it is a standard L7, so you get APDS, HESH, and heat. Hey, very nice. Then we got the Centauro Roma, which we'll just quickly look at. Again, it's been moved up to 9.3. Got the Roma ERA, which against we've got protection analysis against something that's going to be facing, say, USSR T-72. This thing's going to rip right through it, but say we go to the heat shell. The heat is still going to go right through this. It might not be modeled properly. But hey, also, APFSDS stock and DM33. This thing's going to be an absolute beast in terms of penetration. This is why it's 9.3, and it's fast too. It is going to go 110 kilometers an hour. I cannot wait. It literally gives me an orgasm to look at that thing. M47 105 55. This thing is an M47 with a 105mm gun. Very nice gun. Very powerful gun. And again, standard L7, standard M47. I think it's going to be an okay tank at its BR. But, you know, it's going to be a very rounded around tank. No hull gun. The Italians finally decided to remove the hull gun. Yes, they only have 4-man crew in this thing. So one shot in the turret could kill this thing. So, you know, I've had problems where I just kill the turret crew in this thing and the 2 guys in the hull will just repair it and shoot me back. The OF-40, no stabilizer. Also, this thing does not get a stabilizer on its gun. The OF-40, which is basically the Italian Leopard, which I think it just has slightly better armor protection because it has like multiple plates under here. Very nice armor protection. Again, 8.0. Lots of ammo. Decently large engine. I just need to make sure it's still showing realistic. Top speed of 65 kilometers an hour. And again, standard L7 stuff. Laser rangefinder. This is something that's going to be very, very nice for all you guys out there. Laser rangefinder on this thing. I think also this gets a laser rangefinder on it too. Yes. And does this one get a laser rangefinder? No. But hey, what more can you want? And then we'll look at the OF40 Mark IIA. So this one is an OF40. It has a two-plane stabilizer. Essentially, it's a Leopard A1A1. And you got DM23 as your best round, and APDS or Sabo stock, and a standard L7 rounds. Hey, very fun. This thing's gonna be a fun tank, and you also got 50 cal on top, which I don't think the standard OF40 has. But again, the same Beretta gun, and we got the Saddam 25. This thing's a very interesting anti-aircraft vehicle because, you know, 3 crew, lots of guns. I don't think these are radar guided though. Quad 25. Vision. Oh, so it essentially, I think it. Okay, so it has a radar, but it uses a system of light. So it must be something to do with what's under here. Very cool. Twin or quad 25mm. It looks like a fucking spaceship kind of gun. Very cool gun. It's on a M113 chassis. Not much armor. But, hey, what more could you want? It's going to be a nice anti-air. Also, the guns fire at 550 shots per minute. I think that's per gun. Lots of ammo, 25mm guns. Now let's look at the automatic. They gave it a heat mom, which looks nice. It looks like it's a radio controlled fuse delay. APFSDS and a APHE as its stock round. So you get these 2 rounds, and then you're going to get the APFSDS. I think they did this just so it is stock isn't OP. Though I think it should be 8.7 due to you only get 12 APFSDS, and plus it'll just get up tiered to Abrams's all the time. But you can actually make a lineup with the Centauro Roma. It's the automatic. We'll go quickly preview it. Lots of hull armor, though it's going to have hull break because of the weak turret armor. The radar and stuff is all up there. It isn't modeled, but you can turn off the. Also, this is a new system. You can turn off all extremity armor or external armor, so you can see all this stuff. You know, very nice. Rubber fiber, fabric screens. You know, you can see all this stuff. You don't want to see it. Want to see what's underneath? Boom! You can see what's underneath. Very nice kind of system, so you don't have to kind of find that spot. It is much more easy. Just turn off a box, you can see everything. Very nice little system there. And then the M113A1 tow. This is an M1113 with a tow and a 50 cal. Lots of missiles. Again, 5-man crew. The tow gunner is though exposed. I think this thing's gonna be a nice 8.3 tank to have on your lineup, especially as an ATGM vehicle. Can my dogs just stop barking at shit? Pebbles, shut up! Shut up, Pebbles! Yeah. Structural steel. It's gonna be nice. We'll quickly look at the M60A DC Ariete. It's just an standard M60. What the heck? Why is that? Is that getting thinner every time I look at it? But hey, it's an M60. What more could you want? For the Italians. There's a premium too. So it's got a 50 cal on the turret, it's standard M60, and you also get this thing here, the GC Ariete, the GC Leoncello. Not Ariete, Leoncello. Yes, the famed cross of armor. It'll stop everything. But hey, it's just the standard premium. And again, you already have this as your Italian premium, and yeah, honestly, I don't think Italy is going to be a struggle bus at the start, but it's going to have a pretty nice top tier and mid tier lineups. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys slap a like on it. If you guys dislike the video, feel free to put dislike on it. If you guys really like the video, make sure you guys consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.